Hey, everybody, this is Seth from Homestead Medical Experts. I'm honored to be here again with Glenn Ellis from Freiwald Law. Glenn, why don't you just tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm a 20-year veteran here at Freiwald Law and a partner. We're a full-service law firm. We do all kinds of cases, everything from auto to complex litigations, including things like whistleblower and employment. About 80% of my practice, though, is medical malpractice cases. And like I said, I've been doing that for about 20 years now.
Wow. Wow. So, I have a question for you. So for users that end up on either one of our sites that are looking for an expert or looking to kind of take on a medical malpractice case themselves, what advice would you give to somebody on why they might be better off taking on an attorney when starting a medical malpractice case?
I would say the expertise of that lawyer combined with the fact that typically medical malpractice cases are done on contingency. So that lawyer who you're going to team up with to look at a case initially, he's going to cover all the costs involved with that. You can go find a great expert, and that great expert could agree to work with you, but he's going to charge you. And even in an initial phase of looking at a case, that could be thousands of dollars. And at the end of the day, you may still not have a clear understanding of where the case lies. We've all talked to doctors before, and sometimes they're not the best communicators. But for someone like me, who's been doing this kind of work for 20 years, in addition to the fact that I'm married to a doctor, I can get a good understanding of whether or not it's a case and what kind of case it's going to be pretty quickly after talking to a doctor. So a person who who thinks they have a medical malpractice case really should team up with someone like myself or another lawyer with that kind of years of experience.
Why don't you tell us a little bit more about how the process works for when you start up a medical malpractice case, from perhaps, case intake through settlement?
Right. So, when you're looking at a case initially, what we do is we get all the records, we meet with the client, we get all the records, and then we send them to a doctor in the same field that the care took place. So if it's an orthopedic surgery case, we send it to an orthopedic surgeon. If it's a regular surgery case, we send it to a general surgeon. If it's a radiology case, we send it to a radiologist. And he reviews the case. We talk to him, meet with him, discuss it. He gives us his feedback. And then we go back to the client. And sometimes it's not a case, but the client can get a better understanding of what happened. I mean, oftentimes when medical negligence occurs in hospitals, or even where bad things occur in hospitals, doctors are so quick to move to the next patient. Families are left with maybe an incomplete understanding of what happened. And I found that families, even when you have to tell them it's not a case, but where you can explain to them what actually happened, there's value to that. But where it is a case, we then, with the client's approval, we draft the complaint, which is basically just the story of what happened. We put the case in suit, and then it goes into discovery, where we start taking depositions, the kinds of things you see in TV shows. You come into the conference room and the stenographer's there. We do all of that, and then the case goes back to the experts for reports, final reports, because now they have all the information. Mm-hmm. And then the case gets ready for trial. And it's really around the time between the final reports and when you get a trial date that a case then kind of settles. 90+% of all cases settle. I've settled numerous cases after picking a jury. So nowadays, it's pretty rare the case goes to trial, but that's kind of the life cycle. And usually that takes 2-3 years to go through.
Wow.
From beginning to end.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, what a great process that you're providing for your clients. And so when you have a client that has a case, you're able to provide, hopefully get them to settlement. If they don't have a case, you're actually providing closure for them. You're going to explain to them what happened on a medical malpractice or from the medical standpoint, and then tell them they don't have a case, but at least it gives them some closure.
Well, it's important that the client understands what happened to their loved one. And even though we're the ones spending that money, that value should go back to the client. And when it is a case, we always work up all of our cases as if we're going to go to trial. And that's how we work up all of our cases. But the reality of it is most cases don't go to trial. And we are constantly communicating with our clients. As we learn things, we let them know, because at the end of the day, it's their case. and it's their loved one that this happened to. And I think, you know, even though we're spending the money, they need that information about what happened to them. And so if we learn things, we let them know, and we're always keeping them in the loop. And I think that that's, you know, one of the most important aspects of our case. And I think that builds the trust that helps ultimately get the case to a good place at the end of the day.
Fantastic. Well said. I really appreciate your time today, Glenn. Appreciate
No
everything.
problem. I appreciate being here.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.